Hello everybody, Dr. Shadi Ireifej here, board certified surgeon, chief of specialty, and part owner of TrueCare for Pets in Studio City, Los Angeles. We are a 24/7 emergency and specialty hospital here to serve you and your pet's needs. I am joined today by surgical technicians Lindsay and Jay.
Hi!
And so we're going to talk about buying your pet versus adopting your pet. And I guess probably cats and dogs. There's plenty of cats out there that are for purchase. So we will compare and contrast pros and cons of doing one versus the other. What should you do? Is every situation different? Are there medical pros and cons to this? And so we will go into the pros and cons of adopting versus purchasing your pet, what our thoughts are from both a pet owner perspective and from a veterinarian perspective. So obviously, if you go anywhere online or talk to anybody in shelters or veterinary hospitals or pet owners, they're always going to try and convince you to adopt your pet. You want you to adopt your dog, adopt a cat. There's too many out there. There's overpopulation of animals. They're being euthanized by the thousands every day. All true stuff. Lots of sad stories. Not enough homes that are willing to take these pets in. There are just too many animals. And then, of course, you've got the other folks that purchase their pets. They want a certain breed of dog or cat, are willing to pay for that exact breed. They want a dog of a certain age. And so they want to be able to pick and choose exactly what they want to have as a pet. So pros and cons of these two things. What do you guys think? What are your own personal beliefs as far as, is there a better way to do this? Do you prefer one or the other? What are your thoughts?
Adopt.
Just flat out adopt.
Yeah, I think that there is a group of people that want a specific dog, and that's fine. But I think that if you put enough time and effort into it, you can find that dog in a rescue. I hear a lot of times, I want a Frenchie, I want a bulldog, you can't rescue those. It's so not true. If you go to a shelter, you'll find bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're there because people buy them without doing research, get their first bill, and drop them off.
Realize that's not what they wanted.
Yeah, and there's we work with one rescue group here at TrueCare called Road Dogs that specializes in Frenchies and like little bulldogs and stuff like that. So there are groups out there that mainly rescue those breeds.
Greyhound rescues.
Yeah, and so I think if you put some effort into it, you can find that dog. Now, if you're one of those people that likes to participate in like AKC shows and you want that dog.
And that's the Animal Kennel Club?
Yeah. The dog show.
Or American Kennel Club?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then I guess that's different.
Well, so then I'll play devil's advocate here because of course I'm also a fan. I'm a fan of owning animals in general, domesticated animals, that being said. And they obviously adoption is a great way to go, but I can see it. So I can see both ways. So I'll play devil's advocate. What are people afraid of when they adopt a dog? Okay, unknown temperament. What's the solution to that? What can you do to maximize your knowledge as far as what kind of temperament you're getting from this adopted dog?
Most shelters have a behavioralist that they evaluate the pet, but they also ask you to, like, do you have young children? How active are you? Are you home all the time? You know, they help you narrow down your search to have a pet that fits your needs for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And you can adopt a dog you can purchase a purebred dog that ends up being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what you're going to get. They're individuals.
So it can be, for the most part, random. Obviously, certain breeds are tied in with certain personality types.
Yeah.
Right? We know that. There are dogs that are lazier than others, dogs that are energetic than others, some are more needy, some are more independent, etc. But if you go to a shelter, part of their job, ideally, if it's a well-run shelter, is to screen what the personality types of the pet they want to adopt out is. And at the same time, if you get a purebred dog, understand that it is going to come with a certain characteristic or personality type, but of course that also is random. You can't predict your own kid's behavior as they're getting older. Why do you think you predict a dog's behavior?
Exactly. But I think we can't put too much weight on what the shelter says as behavioral cues because they have very limited contact. So the person doing that evaluation has maybe spent like an hour with that dog. So if you're someone that has specific needs, like you have small children, or you are elderly and you can't have a dog,
You have other pets at home.
yeah, then you should definitely go to a rescue group where that dog has been in a foster home with someone and that person knows that dog very well. Because I adopted a dog from a shelter that was supposedly good with other dogs, good with kids, and she has attacked and punctured every one of my other dogs. And I adopted her. She's my commitment, so we're in training and all those things. But that's what you get. And the first thing the trainer said to me was, you shouldn't have just gone to the shelter and gotten a dog. And I think we're all impulsive. Like, we decide we're going to get a dog, we're going to go get a dog.
Yeah. There's so many to choose from.
Yeah. But if you're someone with specific needs, definitely a rescue group is a better way to go.
So there you go. So you have the option of either go based on the word of the shelter and take your risks there, or if you want something more that's maybe more thoroughly thought out, then you can go to a rescue group that maybe has had a pet that's gone through a fostering curriculum and can give you better insight as far as what the expected behavior is going to be for that adopted dog. And AKC's American Kennel Club. Just looked it up. American
Good
Kennel
for you.
Club.
Okay, so I think we should address the elephant in the room.
Me.
Dun dun dun.
Go for it, Jay.
I bought a dog from an AKC registered breeder.
American Kennel Club.
I, Jessica Murders, am a dog purchaser.
I am a dog purchaser.
So why? Yeah, go for it. Tell us your story.
In tech school, we were associated with a shelter for a year.
In Portland, Oregon. No, in Bend.
Oregon. And they knew that I was relocating to California and that I wanted to adopt a cat before I came here. And they wouldn't let me because I did not own a home. I worked a certain amount of hours a week. And I did not meet their criteria for adopting a cat. If I couldn't meet the criteria for adopting a cat, why would they let me adopt a dog? And there are, waves where the shelters are full. They actually do come down to California and take dogs and cats from other sanctuaries. But most of the time, there is not really an overpopulation crisis. So I bought a dog, a certain kind of dog. I did do my breed research. She is a Tibetan Mastiff.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yes.
Except she's crazy.
She's not crazy.
She's crazy.
She is a lazy dog. They are guard dogs. I wanted something larger that lived longer with less health problems than other large breed dogs. So far, I am lucky. So then I moved here, and I still wanted a cat. So in LA, I go to a shelter that is a non-kill shelter, Best Friends. And they were practically pushing cats in my arms. Like, oh, take this one. And every kennel was full. Multiple dogs per kennel. The cat ward's full. There was 3 rooms. And, sometimes, again, double cats in the kennels. And they couldn't get them out fast enough. And around my area, I see there are so many stray cats. I tried to organize a catch to spay and neuter all of them, and I could not believe the multitude of animals just around.
Yeah, so it's so funny to hear you say that you couldn't adopt a cat, because everybody knows, if you look at any statistics, cats by far, there are just too many in shelters.
Yeah.
And not enough people want cats compared to dogs to get them into homes fast enough, for sure. So it's such a crazy thing to hear, that you had such a hard time trying to adopt a pet.
Yeah, especially because I had a relationship with this facility. I worked in partnership with their animals as the training vet tech, and I still wasn't interested in the care.
That's
so
wild.
I bought a dog.
So you can, if you're looking for a particular type of dog, for either for medical reasons or for breed personality reasons, you want a specific age, you want to train them when they're young. If you're looking for criteria and you do try to do the research to see if a rescue organization, especially one that specializes in that breed, if they have a dog of your specifications available, they don't have it, then of course you always have the option of purchasing a dog. And obviously, of course, this is for a specific. You're looking for something very, very specific in this scenario. Because for the most part, if you do enough research, especially now with the internet, you do enough research, you can look all across the United States. I assume outside the U.S. as well, and you can hopefully try and find a dog that needs a home that still matches the criteria you're looking for with respect to age, gender, breed, personality type, living situation, past history, medical history, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and we're in a really cool time right now because I think Los Angeles is the first city to pass the law banning the sale of cats and dogs in stores. So you're not going to see pets for sale in any pet stores anymore that are cats and dogs, and I think rabbits. That happened in December, so that's pretty cool.
Wow,
so
that's great. Go California.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see a decline in people impulse purchasing dogs that they're not prepared to take care of, because you see that typical like tiny microbreed dog that somebody buys from a store and it comes in just comatose because it has no blood sugar, things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully people will be inclined to do some more research into adopting now that it's harder to buy a dog.
Sure. Yeah, those kind of regulations obviously are celebrated. We need to find ways of minimizing the number of dogs and cats that are being, I guess, accidentally and purposely produced to try and take care of the ones we already have that need homes. So hopefully we can control that. And so the medical portion of it then brings us, of course, to another point, which is the classic question: are mixed breed dogs healthier than purebreds? Do we tend to see that dogs that have a mixed bag of genes have less medical problems than those that are of purebred genes?
I think predictable medical problems.
Yeah, like if a Cavalier King Charles comes in, you're like, oh, it's going to be here for its heart. Like there's almost no doubt about it.
Sure, and that's of course that's obvious. I mean, you can at least comment as a veterinarian and as a specialist that there are certainly breed associated diseases and conditions. Absolutely, that's classic. I mean, that's part of what doctors, veterinarians do. Is we can almost predict what disease we're going to be dealing with before even talking to you as the pet owner, just based on the breed, the age, the gender, and what have you. And I certainly do think from my own experience that mixed breed dogs are obviously less predictable in terms of what disease they're coming into the veterinary hospital with. Of course, your dog is a combination of golden retriever, boxer, and basset. I don't know which of the prevailing breed characteristics are going to show up in this dog's current disease state, or if any of them will. We have no way of predicting that. Whether or not mixed breed dogs are more resilient than purebred dogs, I'm going to say the consensus overall is, in my opinion, from interviewing clients, is not based on any kind of research. It's just purely from my clients. Is the majority of clients that have owned both purebreds and mixed breed dogs, they seem pretty convinced that the mixed breed dog is healthier, has less medical problems throughout their longevity than the purebreds do. Now, of course, that's just
anecdotal.
Yeah, it's anecdotal evidence. There's nothing there that carries any weight. I'd have to look at the research and see if there actually is a difference, and take it from there. But it seems that most of my pet owners, especially the ones that have had experiences of both types of scenarios, think that mixed breed dogs are a lot more resilient than the purebreds. Certainly, we do know for sure that purebred dogs classically will develop certain diseases. But then, of course, that'll bring us back to good breeders, right? If you have a good breeder who actually cares about the lineage of their animals, they're going to try and weed out breed-specific diseases through smart breeding habits, obviously, which is what the whole point of is having papers with your dog, making sure the lineage is good, and purchasing wisely, because not all breeders are created equal either. There are some that really care about the breed and the condition of the breed overall, and that you get a pet that's has the minimal risk of congenital or breed-associated diseases as possible. And you have some that are in it purely for the money and just want to mass produce and what have you. So, Craigslist is always a troublesome area to look through, always. Not to say that there aren't good people out there, but let's face it.
If you're buying a dog on Craigslist, it's probably not a good deal.
It's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem.
So we recommend that you do go based on whatever research pattern you want to go through to figure out where to get your purebred dog. And And that's a smart way to go about it. It takes more time and more patience, just like everything that's worthy of time and patience takes to get the best outcome that you possibly can, as opposed to doing an impulse purchase, despite you having criteria.
And I think it's actually going back to what Jay was talking about. It's really interesting, the difference between adopting an animal from a shelter in Oregon versus LA. Because LA, like, they literally have sales.
Yeah, like,
you know, it's like
free this week.
Yeah,
Animals.
yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah,
Free.
And it's actually quite sad that we have to do that here. It would be amazing to see more animals exported to, you know, lower populated areas where people want animals, versus just, here, come take this dog for free. Like, if you can't afford the adoption fee, you probably can't afford to care for the animal appropriately.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we have these clear the shelter events, which are amazing. I get what people are trying to do, but the returns on animals after that are huge, and it's really sad, and animals end up in bad hands. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think we need a balance between what you went through and what we're experiencing in LA. And I think that comes down to what rescue groups are trying to do right now, which is shelter reform.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally, we want any future pet owner to have the finances set aside to take care of their pet in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
And forget even emergencies. Let's focus even on being able to afford regular stuff, vaccines, preventative medicine, prophylactic care, regular vet visits, what have you. I guess the idea would be you probably wouldn't screen those future pet owners at the pet shelter or rescue organization necessarily, because at least if you get them into a home, that's one step forward. You know, because the alternative is if they're not adopted out by a certain period of time and there are no fosters available, you're looking at probably a terminal thing. And at least get them into a home and figure it out later. Get them into a home, figure it out later.
Yeah, which ends in death a lot of times.
And that may not be the best scenario either. Your dog gets sick 2 months later, and now they're being put down because of that, or some unforeseen accident occurs, and now you can't afford the surgery. And so we see it a lot as well. But at least if you get them into a home, there's a little bit more hope that they may live out their lives as normal as possible versus being stuck in a rescue organization or a shelter. But of course, the next step is, of course, appropriate husbandry and pet ownership.
Or another thing they're talking about right now is making a registry of. People think of it like the registry for sex offenders, but like a registry for animal abusers.
Wow.
So that
I'm a huge supporter of that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so that if you are known to neglect your animals, and us as people in the veterinary field, we do sometimes report owners to animal control because they are neglectful of their animals. It doesn't happen a lot because most owners have good intentions, but there are some that you see where, you know, they put a rubber band around the dog's tail to dock it, and you know, something like that, where you can report them, and then those people will be blacklisted from adopting animals. You know, we need some happy medium somewhere down the road.
I thought it was interesting. Isn't there a law here where you can only have a certain amount of dogs?
3. Oh no, it just increased to 4, I think.
4 dogs per person in LA?
Yes, but if you have 8 acres,
right,
it increases per acre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's like in a house or an apartment here in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And you only get in trouble for that if someone reports it.
Yeah.
Well, that's like everything, right? I mean, these animals don't really have a voice, so.
Yeah, I only have 3 dogs in my house, I swear.
Yeah.
At all times, max 3.
What's the rule on the maximum number of spiders you can own as pets in a household?
Unlimited.
Is it unlimited, Jay?
Unlimited.
Jay has 10.
Lindsay has like
10
14.
tarantulas. Lindsay
I
has
have 14.
13. See?
Oh my God. Both my studio technicians are hoarders of spiders.
I only have 10. I only
They're
have 10.
hoarders.
I have 10.
I'm gonna get one tomorrow.
For your birthday?
Yeah.
They're getting tarantulas for their birthdays.
I didn't get a tarantula for my birthday.
Rounding up armies of tarantulas.
They're gorgeous creatures.
They're very good pets.
Yes.
Display pets.
You know what? If you are a person,
Like a bobblehead.
Yeah, that can't walk your dog on a normal basis.
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Can't feed it. Don't have time to pay attention to it. Get a freaking spider.
Spiders are so low maintenance.
You feed it once a week. If there are cricket in there, it's all done.
You spot clean the cage.
In most my cages, I just take the molts out.
You just have to know, is it a ground spider or a tree spider?
And
how much humidity
search.
does it need?
Google
and
search.
It. and they come in every color of the rainbow.
This is our PSA, adopt spiders.
Hashtag adopt spiders. Hashtag free the tarantula. All right. Well, so there you have it. There's some different points of views in terms of adopting pets versus purchasing them. I think all of it comes down to adequate research and planning. What is it you really want out of your pet? What are you looking for with your particular household? Obviously, we have dogs that are available for adoption of different ages, and you feel bad for the middle-aged geriatric ones that need homes. And I know clients that specifically will only adopt those dogs that either have medical problems or are older, and because that they've got another year or two left on this earth. Let's give them the best year or two that they can have, for their life. So there's different stipulations depending on what you're looking for, and we encourage everybody just to do your research. There's no guilt trip if you're purchasing a purebred dog or cat, but if you do the research appropriately, I have a feeling that you can find exactly what you're looking for, or at least similarly enough by adopting a pet. But of course, there's certainly pros and cons to both aspects to this, and we'd love to hear your opinion on this as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining into our podcast. This is Dr. Shadi Ireifej, Chief of Specialty, part owner, and board-certified surgeon for TrueCare for Pets in Studio City, Los Angeles. We hope to see you at the next podcast. Thank you so much for following us. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to hear us at the next podcast. That does roll off the tongue nicer. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.